Liberals are just miserable, man. There's no two ways around it, and don't live your life like this. It's sad, actually, quite sad. So I posted this on my channel that George Carlin is a scumbag, and he is a scumbag. There's no two ways around that. I'll share with you. I'm not going to be able to show this. I can show it to you, but this is from unauthorized.tv. Jimmy Savile and George Carlin. A lot of similarities there. And then you read about George Carlin from his own mouth, his take on abortion, and it's pretty disgusting stuff, man. Pretty disgusting stuff. And I hope you're familiar with Jimmy Savile. Pretty disgusting stuff. George Carlin's a scumbag. I know we all think, oh, but he had the 7 words. He didn't say a couple words that were interesting now that got Owen Benjamin banned. Why did he say some words but not others? He's such a rebel, that guy. I hate when people say that guy's a rebel when they're not rebels. They're not even controlled opposition, because George Carlin is one of the reasons for the degradation of our society. Listen to what he hears about abortion. Listen what the guy's a freaking scumbag. Anyway, then I'll put a link in the show notes to this. You should subscribe to Unauthorized. Razor Fist is on there. A bunch of guys are on here who I very much enjoy. All right, so anyway, we're going to go back to this right here. So I posted George Carlin's a scumbag, and this guy says right here, Rock says, I just love how they can never put their real names. Can anyone clue what's a financial planner randomly, repeatedly attacks a dead comedian? You all right, buddy? This ain't good business, is it? It actually is good business. That's what you don't understand. Same group preference has a two-way street. People hire me because they like my morality. They say, yeah, I like this guy. Some people, you won't hire me because you don't like morality, which is fine with me. And I said, you can leave anytime. No one's keeping you here. And this guy right here says, I was wondering the same thing. I'm happily leaving this place. This place is blocked. That's fine. So I'll heart this. And then, and then I'm going to reply here. Then this guy says, I'll stick around looking for term of service violations. Let me reply here. I thought I did. I did not. 1 second. And you'd fit right in with Honecker. Of course, you don't know who that is because liberals, they're not that bright, man. I mean, let's just admit to it. They're good at being told what to think and just going in the direction. I mean, we call them NPCs and all that. They don't think outside the box. They can't. But remember, these aren't liberals like hippies. These are what they've always been, is people who follow, they're statists. It's easy to say they're liberals now, but 50 years ago, they would have been all in favor of segregation. 100 years ago, they would have all been in favor of slavery. These are the same group of people who do what they're told. And they're going to say, oh my goodness, I'm going to follow this guy because he does not believe what I'm supposed to believe by the statists, the authorities, and I'm going to follow him and I'm going to report him for a violation of terms of service. I mean, can you imagine, hold on a second. Can you imagine wasting your time following someone you don't like because you want to report him to the authorities? That's what, I mean, I just don't. Oh. Look, I don't like the WNBA. I think it's stupid. It's boring basketball. It's poor basketball. I don't like it. I don't pay any attention. I just don't care. You see what I'm saying? But when you're paying attention to somebody, you're allowing that, like the way the left, Trump lives rent free in the left's mind. They're like, oh, what's he doing now? It's like, dude, just move on. For heavens, don't live like this. And so when it comes to like retirement planning, don't live like this either. Like, oh my goodness, what's Powell doing? What's the stocks doing? What? Just don't waste your time, man. It's your time isn't worth that. For this guy to spend his time following what I'm saying, I mean, it's just as can you imagine just his sad life? I don't like this guy, so I'm going to follow him to whatever he says so I can report him, so I can save other people from hearing what he has to say. Can you imagine that? And he says, I got one. It's evil, dude. But evil is, when I say it's liberals now, it's statists. But you got to admit, the left wing today is the Stasi of the East German regime. It's no different. It's always been. There's always the majority of people who just do what they're told. Now, the vast majority of those people just want to get by. They're not trying to fight. They're not trying to have any controversy. They're just trying to get by. But there's some people in there who are just wanting desperately to say, look, it's me, everybody. I'm the one who canceled this guy. I'm the one who put the noose around that guy's head because he whistled at a white girl. Oh, it's me who, what they do in China, they put the dunce cap on and they circled around. I mean, just, look, you got this. You got people like that all, you're never going to get rid of these people. They're always going to be around. And it's just don't be that. And don't fall what freaking, like people say all the time, did you hear what Biden says? I don't care. Biden said, what did he say something the other day about a 12-year-old girl? I mean, I'm like, I just literally don't care. The guy's a scumbag. Don't care. Is Trump a good guy that I want my kids to emulate? No, he's not either. That's why I don't care about his tweets. Actually, I kind of find his tweets funny just because how triggered against the left. But I just don't care. Just stop caring about this because it doesn't do you any good. The more you focus on the bad, the less you're focused on the good. And the good, true, and beautiful is right there. You want to march towards the good, true, and beautiful. Now, am I a hypocrite? Of course I am. We're all hypocrites. We're human beings, for heaven's sake. But just don't live like this, man. Don't live like liberals. It's just, but then there's conservatives too, by the way. I see it on my own channel. Like, if you don't support the blue and yellow, you know what I'm talking about. Gotta be careful. You're okay with, friggin' communism taking over. I'm like, no. And I see it here too. If how dare you say anything against that guy who's running the blue and yellow? It's nuts to me, man. And I don't get it. I don't get it. What does that do for you? Nothing. Focus on the good, true, and beautiful. Right there. Focus on that. And try to leave the bad stuff behind. It's a win for you, man. It's a win. And if you just think about like C.S. Lewis' book, I can't remember the name of it. I'm drawing a blank what it was called. But anyway, there's a case where the husband his wife dies. His wife is in heaven, and she comes down to say, "Hey, husband, join me in heaven. It's great here. It's great." He has this ball, literally the ball and chain. And as he's like thinking, okay, yeah, I can join you, the ball starts shrinking. But then he just comes back. He says, but you said something to me the other day. It just grows. And he can't let go of the ball and chain. Even to go to the good, true, and beautiful, he can't let go. Because it's just part of him now. It's just, and you're like, what? You're reading this book and you're reading how the ball is shrinking as he's starting to be taken in by the wonderful of heaven and being with God. But then he just comes back and says, but, sad. What's that book called? Yeah, it's called The Great Divorce. Such a good book. I don't even think it's that long of a read. Man. The narrator inexplicably finds himself in a grim and joyless city, the Gray Town, where it rains continuously, even indoors, which is either hell or purgatory, depending on whether or not one stays there. He eventually finds a bus stop for those who desire an excursion to some other place, heaven. He waits in line for the bus and listens to the arguments between his fellow passengers. As they wait the bus's arrival, many of them quit the line in disgust before the bus pulls up. When it arrives, the driver is an angel who shields his face from the passengers. Once the few remaining passengers have boarded, the bus flies upward off the pavement to the gray, rainy sky. And I just love it, man. The Great Divorce. You should definitely. I need to read this again. It's probably been 15 years since I read it, but remember, the good, true, and beautiful over here. Everything else over there. Focus, focus, focus. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.